Test. Why is... I don't need that. Don't need that. Oh, it's right there. It's working fine. There we go. Whew. Okay. Now, if we could go live somewhere and double check. There we go. Now we're testing. Excellent connection, it says. That's good to hear. Excellent connection, it says. That's good to hear. Now can't hear myself. There we go. Now I should be able to hear myself. Okay. Audio's working good. Welcome back to part 2 of building 76193, the Guardians ship from Guardians of the Galaxy, and a little bit from, from the Infinity Saga of the Lego systems. So, yesterday was interesting. We got through half of it. Got quite a bit done, actually, from just amazing, like, get in there and there's, like, different details. That coffee maker was amazing right there. Of course, my lights aren't perfectly positioned to see all of this stuff, unfortunately. The shadow, all of it's for down here. I'm in a different place, so my lights aren't quite to where they would normally be. Normally, I'm back at that table right there. So we're going to jump in. We got bags 8 through 14 to do today. That will finish us all up on this. And looks like the bag we're working on right now should finish up the top up here to get it all ready to have the removable top so you can put your characters in it and everything. So that should be pretty cool. So let's jump in. Oh, I don't have my box over here, my makeshift garment. Let's move him back so we have a place to put parts. Well, depending on what we're doing, of course. There we go. And we got our bitty bits. That part wanted to get stuck. Come on. That guy. See? That's how we lose parts. Of course, I have like extras of those already, just from this set. Move this bit more down out of the way, because you don't need to see that as much as seeing some of the cool stuff. Oh, wow. Wow. It's not just transparent, it's got this pearlescence on it. It's just really cool pearlescence. There we go. That's pretty good. See like the particles in it. So instead of being like this clear, which you can't even focus on really. So instead of being clear, it's got this pearlescence in it. That's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen a part like that before. Got a couple newish parts, that's for sure. Oh, those are nice. So that might be some stuff to help finish up the wings a little bit too. So doing a little bit of knolling today, just so that we can find our parts easily. Got it zoomed out a little bit more as well. So we got some space we can work with. we can keep our building more front and center here for everybody to see. Might even actually zoom in a little bit. We're kind of, let's come in a little bit more. Crop the top and bottom off a little bit, but we don't need that as much. There we go. Get a little bit closer. It's just kind of nice sometimes to, it's kind of relaxing to sit there and go through and like just, oh yes, these pieces all go together and just kind of figure out what needs to go where. Almost therapeutic in a way. And it doesn't have to be neat. You can make it as neat or as unorganized as you want. You just have a pile. There's something to be said about just having a pile too, because if you just got a pile of parts, you're digging through them and you get that sense of satisfaction of finding the part that you've been looking for. So, I mean, that's part of it as well. Okay, let's get her in here. And let's start building. So just basically 2 gray dots to begin with to kind of fill in this little gap here. And then we're also working on the back here a little bit. Right here. Building that up. Where's our corners? The corners the corners are in here. Okay. It's always interesting what they decide to put in the, the small bag versus the big bags. Hello, burp burp. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Should go pretty quick. Oh, why didn't you tell me to do 2 dots? Oh no, this is something separate. Okay, so we're stacking 2 gray dots. Now I'm dropping gray dots, and they're going to go right here, kind of close to where we got that other dot. It's going to build up just like this one's built up. And we have the smooth piece there, and then there's some corner smooth pieces, which I'm guessing are going to, yep, they're going to be in the small bin. They're just going to kind of cover up that open corner and get it nice and set up, along with getting this smooth piece with 2 studs. So that'll be probably where the top locks in a little bit, is at least those 2 studs. Oh, 2 of the traditional, 1 stud. And traditional being that it's got this, the stud is flush there, and it's got this little shelf there, where the other one, and it's hollow in the bottom. The other ones that I saw before are just 1x1 bricks with a hole in them, which was new-ish to me. And we gotta have Where is that special piece? There's a special corner piece it's supposed to go into. There it is. It's literally just a corner piece. It's just a little tiny, almost looks like an isometric view, but it's got no studs on it. It's only got the socket at the bottom. And so that has to, so we're going to mirror these. One of these is going to be one way, get another one. There's the one piece. Where's our corner piece? There it is. Okay, and the other one's going to face the other way. And these, that little gap right here, this little gap right there, sticking out, right? That's going to go over these vents in this particular formation. So it's going to click in right where the orange is, and it's going to go over those vents. Okay, we got another archway. So this archway is midway right here. Sockets right in nicely. And then we plate over all these little bits with a 2x6. Lock everything down. And it's like 2 1x3 dark gray smooth. Which I don't see out there, so there they are. And that just finishes up that part in the back. So now we got a little orange. And we gotta get some winglets, the short winglets, not the 2-stud. And these winglets are going to be continuing kind of like that, so that it doesn't interfere. Yep, it's gonna continue the wing shape. Oop, I grabbed 2 of the same type. I need one going the other way. There's a lot of them in here. We're apparently going to use a lot of these. There we go. And then a couple more studs, I guess, again, to hold down that top area once it's all installed. Come on, get out of there. Also holds down that archway nicely. Ooh. Man, that is... It naturally stops it before this hits and pops off. In fact, it just touches it. Geez, the tolerance is amazing considering this is just like ABS plastic toy form fitted. Just amazing how close they got that, where it could actually, that piece could touch. And it's not, this isn't stopping because of this. It's stopping because those bars that we put in hit their stop down below. These are 1x2 cheese wedges. And some vents on a slope. And then 2 more of these. Oh, this all goes on the back. This is part of our back here. So it's giving a little detail to the back of the ship. And then we're going to build another piece of detail back there too. Looks like with this. Get our jumper plates. That's what they're called, jumper plates. As I just recently found out. Ooh, I'm putting them on wrong too. So they jump between 2 studs and create a single stud. I need some more of those. I need the bars first. There we go. Get our little gray gold bars in there. So just building this little decorative piece. It's going to have a couple more interesting pieces on it here in a second. So these got these little, boy, micro-sized car pieces. That's what I would call them. I would use them to create a little itty bitty tiny car because it's basically what they are. The little itty bitty wheels and everything. And little half arches. So you get this nice little decorative piece like this. That's just going to go right on the back in between all that stuff that we just built. Okay, we're going to use these 2 little pieces. And 2 of these. There we go. Okay, these add to the back. And we just kind of socket them down here into one holder. And they lock into the other holder. Give a nice pipe kind of thing in the back. Kind of decorative. I guess piping on the back ramp. Although it doesn't open up as a ramp here like it does in the movie. There we go. I'll show that off in a minute as soon as I get these other pieces in place. Okay, so what we just did was, boy, it's hard to see with this arch and everything, but just put in those pieces right there. And they go down a little bit. See if that helps a little bit more for the light. So yeah, you can see these pieces put in here. Get some more piping. Not in a cake. Not like piping in a cake. Right, so with this stuff that we just put down, I'm going to put a dot here with bricks right behind it, but we're going to put these slopes in first. The roof pieces. Traditionally, roof pieces. Even got texture on it, almost like it's tiled. 2 more gray dots on top of these special pieces. These are neat little 1x2 bricks that actually have a little bit of curve to them, like decorative bricks, as it were. And those literally just go right in front here, don't they? They're only on 1 brick each, so it's going to be interesting to see how those lock in. More cheese, 1x2 cheese wedges. 1, 2. They're facing down. Oops. Put that on the wrong side. Shit. No wonder it won't lock in. There we go. Much better. And let's see. Corner pieces. 4 more dots. Boy, they're just getting the dots all over the place, aren't they? And 2 telescopes. Telescopes, wine glasses, whatever. So 2 dots on the bottom of telescope. Well, hello, little kitty cat. You sniffing? Not going to come over? You just going to sit down over there? Okay. Good boy. Can't believe we have cats that don't seem to care that much about the Lego. They're just like, yeah, whatever. You're doing stuff. And then these bring everything up to the same level. So now this is going to be the same level all the way across, except for those orange studs sticking up. So get a long one. 2 1x2s. 1 stud in. And then these 4, which have been hanging out down here for a little bit. It's going to be this is going to be holding the front canopy. So yeah. So that's going to be how the front canopy goes on. So I got to finish up a couple other things on it, but still, that's going to be what it's for. Oop. Outside, not inside. This goes on the inside. This goes next to it. And the little slope piece kind of locks everything together. And then this goes right here. So we're getting a nice roof area that we'll be able to enclose. Ooh, now we got to do something on the bottom. Okay. carefully flip. So I take out a Chitari. Let you guys go up here a little bit more. Couple of different pieces. Only 2 of these neat little slopes. Let's put that guy with his brother so we know where to find him. Cool. So get the winglet there. Put the wrong piece. I need a 2 by or 1 by 3 jumper. Jumper plate. And this decorative piece goes on the bottom on this side facing towards the front. It's right here. Here? No. Yeah, right here. Locks all that together, covers up that hole, and then we put these right in the center of both of these because I'm sure that the next thing is we're going to get the kind of bottom engines on. You get both sets. And we need 1 slope. Where's that one? Where did that 1 slope go? He's hiding. Yep, he was literally underneath the wing. So this one thing goes in the back. It just goes right here. There we go. These literally just socket together like that. So they double up, giving this nice little double area. And they're going to go on like studs out towards us. Right into the pin here. There we go. Even spin. Cool. That gives a lot more detail on the bottom. Now we flip back over again. Oh, look at that. Those wings just look amazing. Ooh, 4 little yellow dots without studs. Hello, Princess Kitten. She may decide to check things out. She may not. Okay, so, wrong one. I need this one. I'm just going to put 2 little yellow lights on it, I guess. And same with this one. And this is going to face towards the back there and face towards the back here. You can see those little double yellow lights over on. And then get some smooth plating in place so that again, that top piece can go on and only have so many studs that it connects to, so it's easy to take on and off. fancy. That just goes right here. And this just goes right here, covering up those 4 studs, changing those 4 studs to 2. So you got like 2 studs there, 2 studs there. And this will probably change up how many studs that it's going to use for the protective cover that goes on top. Open it up so you can, oh no. I have to put stickers on both of these. We are down to 6 stickers left. So we're doing 2 right now on these. And this is probably the worst one you could have, which is a long, thin piece that has to line up and be even. Oop, get rid of the cat fur. Don't want the cat fur there. Yes, princess. That was not a good way to do it. There we go. There's one. That was the number 4. And the number 4 goes on this side. I'll do the number 5. Only 4 more stickers after this. That's not too bad. Start with what, 14 or something like that? Let's right at an angle. Come on. Actually, that's not too bad. There we go. It ended up being better than I thought. So there's instrumentation that goes on the back. Or on the front, actually. So yeah, it goes right on the front. There's 2 studs to hold it. Uh-huh. Oh no, it's 3 studs to hold it because it goes all the way up to this stud up here. I'm right here. Why are you just standing on top of that? You silly. So then, yes, so that gave those instrumentation strips right there. See, this is why I had the other desk, is I had better overhead lighting. My overhead lighting doesn't stretch over this desk very well, so it's kind of behind me. But yeah. And I've got 2 little smooth corner plates. There's one. Where's the other one? There's the other one. Those also go around the front to just clean up that a little bit. Clean up the number of studs that it has to connect to. It's got like a half a stud that it might engage with, might not. Who knows? And 2 little winglets. Make sure we get one of each one this time. So there's so many of them. Ah, dropped it. There we go. One of each one. That's just going to take care of this part right here. Finish up a little bit more on the wing. Again, it's really amazing that this piece just sits here on 2 studs and it connects right up to there naturally from the stop underneath hitting it. No gap at all. Look at that. Just, and that's with the wings in the upright position instead of the down position. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty solid. And we got to clean up these 4 studs up here. So these studs are getting covered up for whatever topper goes on top. Doesn't have to click into too many places. So we only got these 4 back here right now. Aha. So this was a question I had before. It's like, oh, we have these pieces, sorry, there and there that accept axles. And I have not seen like, oh, what's going to hook up to the axles? Well, we're putting the axles in now. So our axles go in. Doesn't say what's going to hook into them yet, but it just says, oh yeah, put the axles in. So there's one axle. There's the other axle. And then these pieces, which are pretty symmetrical, these get hooked onto here. So we get some control surfaces right underneath this engine-ish area. There we go. It's pretty, I mean, like those control surfaces, you know, obviously if you grab them, actually even just grabbing them, they don't pop off. This thing's a pretty solid set for just grabbing it and playing with it. This is a good solid set for someone to just play with so far. Kids, anyone really, but I mean, you think about it and you're like, you know, the adult that puts it together, maybe they'd be more careful. I bet you this is a piece I have to duplicate, isn't it? It sure is. So we're going to mirror this one. But first of all, adults aren't necessarily more careful with it, even if they built it. And for the second part, not just kids are going to be the ones that play with it. So it's a good solid set for playing with, that's for sure. So we're building 2 of these at the same time. So we get fancy. Because we're going to get these like nice red snots facing out one side. And then we get real fancy because we got this snot that's going to go onto the end. So it's going to go on the end here. So that snot's facing out here. But then we're going to put this on it, which is going to make studs facing up again. Can't see it because of the... So we had studs facing out this way, and then this will make the studs face back up again. Oh, actually, no. It's to make the studs go sideways out the back. Okay, not up again. It could make it to do up again, but they're going to be facing the same way the red ones are facing. And there we go. Little gray bits on top of the red to bring it up to the same level as that orange that we just did. So we're kind of hollow on one side and pretty solid on the back. Again, that yellow and red are going to be covered up. So we already, oh, what the goofers, that's cool. So we're going to have 1, 2, we need 4 of each. 4 for one side, 4 for the other. Anyway, I was saying, yeah, because it's a odd color, it's going to be covered up. So we're going to have 4 for one side, 4 for the other, and then we need these as well. And these are going to create some, like, basically fins. So we just take 2 of these winglets, separate them by the black 1x2. And we do that for all these. So we're going to have 2 sets of these little fin. Come on. There we go. 2 sets of these fins for one side, and we'll have 2 for the other side. So those 2 will be for that one. Do the same thing with this. Grumple's got the very top spot on the on the cabinets over there, and Kitten wants to check it out too. So take this, and we put those on like this on either side, and we get this nice little fin stack. So we'll go from this to that. And take this, combine it with this, and that hooks right into the front. Oof, should hook right into the front. Why does that not line up right? Looks like it should line up. That's going that way. Studs wise, that hooks in there. Or that hooks in a little bit further over, but that's interesting. That does not hook in quite like it feels like it should. See, that hooks in there. But that does not hook in there. It seems to indicate that I missed something. Oh, I did. It's supposed to be a little square in the middle here. That square. We'll fix it. So I missed one 2x2 square right there, which when you have other pieces, makes it nice and even right across there and locked in with that. So there we go. And we got our 2 mirrored pieces built. Flip everything back over again because these 2 mirrored pieces will go on the bottom. So this one, scooping forward this way. Yeah, it's the final piece. Looks like it goes right over this, but oh, you gotta Oh, weird. It's going to fit in on those. Which actually limits the... So the wings aren't going to move that much now. Interesting. The wings aren't going to flex very much at all because that makes the wings flex up so that this can fit in there. This is a... Boy, that's an interesting fit. To get in there, the right angle and everything. There we go. So now that keeps... It actually keeps the wings up at a slight angle. Almost all the way up. Not quite all the way up, but darn near all the way up. And gives this nice raked engine look. Okay, so we already built that other one, and we put it on. So we get to jump ahead a couple of pages. We're at page 144, and we are now at number 9. Just got that first bag done for today. We still haven't run into Rocket yet. Those nice long pieces. Toss those over there. By Mantis and everyone. That's a specialty piece. Nice traditional rocket piece there. Cool. Bunch of snot pieces. Bunch of them. Okay, and we'll open up the smaller bits. Ooh, some nice clear pieces in this as well. So 9 and 10 going to build the same thing. I mean, I'm not going to mirror it, even if it is, but... Oh no, this is just the back. This is the tail piece. It's the tail piece of the whole structure. So definitely not anything that needs to be mirrored. Starting off with one big piece to get nice and stable, looks like. Go away, Kefir. So these are like, they use these for headlights for a lot. They got studs on top and they're smooth kind of really smooth on the bottom. Nice ice blue. So that's kind of cool. Give me a dot. Gray dot. Oh, we need lots of gray dots. It's got gray dots all over the place. Oops. Skipping ahead. Skipping ahead. Should be a brown-ish one. I don't see here at all. I don't see any there at all. It's got to be in here then. And wouldn't you know, it's not. Oh, don't tell me I didn't empty the bags out properly again. That'd be hilarious. It's even checking. Oh, they're hidden. Hidey pieces. Underneath the instructions. You guys probably saw them. So. More dots. No trouble with the long sleeves, man. It really pops things sometimes. And this cool little brick around the end. So we're just kinds of dots and studs and places to plug in all over the place on this. Nice little bar here. Just gonna go right over that. Gives a nice look, like some type of copper piping. Another little dot. Oh, that's cool. It's got stuff on two sides. Weird. Not what I'm looking for, but weird nonetheless. Locking this all together real nice and neat with that. And dropping that in there. Another dot. Oh, cool. Use this now. He says more traditional type of rocket motor, as it were. That nice purple right on top of this piece. And this is going to lock into it. Ooh, no, we only needed one of these, not two of these. Put two of these together. Do not need two of these together. There we go. So we get this nice little rockety piece here that can socket in very easily. And that's going to go right into this. These two-way things. Again, these are neat. They're 1x1s. As you can see, they have a stud on two corners there. Kind of a cool little piece. And another one of those to match at the end. So he'll have little studs all the way around. Yeah, Kefir. I don't mind Kefir. I just rather it not be in the finished model if where possible, where it can be avoided. Nice. That's pretty cool looking. Okay, now we'll get the decorative bits on the top, starting with that. Getting a nice beige and a brown. Where's another beige? Where's my brown? Where's my brown at? My beige. Where's my brown? That's the top done. Now we're going to finish like some of the sides. So we got this nice, just little rounded piece. It's going to finish off this right there. And we got some parts in front of that. We have a jumper plate right there, but we have a special piece. Where's that? There's that specialty piece. It's kind of neat specialty piece that just goes right here. Gives it some good looks. This whole thing just plates right in here. Oh, nope, we gotta have a winglet. Wrong one. Wrong one? Yeah, wrong one. There's the other one. I'll bet you we're gonna have another that's gonna be used on the other side. Okay, and then the little, where's the little half moon guy? It's gonna go on that stud from the jumper plate. And rotate back the other way a little bit. There we go. Even it up. Oh, another sticker. We're down to the last 4 stickers. One of them is going to go on this slope right here. This is number 10. Ooh, big angle there. It's a curved piece, so it's like difficult to get this on without going to a crazy angle. That's actually pretty good. It's being held on by 2 studs. Holy cow. I guess this is going to lock it in there. That's probably going to be the one that locks it in, right? Because then we get another one here, and then we get one of the little cutoff ones of those. I'll find it because I'll just get more of these in place. Nope. Oh, because they're not over there, that's why. That's the one that isn't cut off, so it goes on this end. The one that is cut off at an angle goes over here. There we go. Bring that angle down. So we get a nice smooth slope in there. So now we're going to look at the other side. And it's like, oh, we've got too many places where it's like going to be flat. So we're just going to put this little ball in there. And then right above it, we're going to put a gold bar. So this is going to hook in somewhere, obviously. And that's going to go there. We've got to get a winglet down below here. And we have a gray bar that is going to go on this one for aesthetics. So this guy, it really looks nice. When it's all coming together like that. Okay, so we got two of our white or blue ice headlight discs that need to be hooked in with these other pieces. It's funny because this has got a single stud in the middle for a jumper plate, and this one's got a single hole, so they get plugs into it. So it changes it from the ice blue headlight there has studs to having sockets, basically. Because it's got studs, this accepts the studs and jumper plates it down to a single stud. Single stud goes in the middle of this and changes its sockets so that they can go here and here. Go. Engines. More engines. More go-go juice. Winglet. There was that winglet I've been saving. So I'll match the other side now. And our little pointy doohickey right there with smooth underneath. And of course, we have another sticker. It's funny, this is labeled sticker number 1. And we're accessing it this late in the game. Good. You can go right there. This almost feels like I am going to make a second one of these based on the stickers because I have, oh, that's facing the wrong way. I suspect I'm going to be making another one of these, and that one is just going to go on the other side anyway. I am. So that, in theory, should be okay in that other bag. It's a lot better than trying to get this sticker off, but I'll give it a shot anyway. Usually not too bad. Yeah, nice recovery. Lead that up towards the front. This one will be for here. Cool. So yeah, we'll have another bag that'll make a whole other one of these. So it'll go pretty quick. Oh my goodness. I put a bunch of engines in the bottom of this now. 5 of them. Part of it's going to be on this. Oops. There we go. Let's get all these nice ice blue engines. And we got one little bit for the end here. There we go, like that. So, I think these are going to be essential for attaching them once all is said and done. And this whole piece on the bottom still goes on like that. So we've got attachments there and there. And to make sure that it kind of stays, well, yes, to make sure it stays in place, this is going to lock it down in between that and that little stud. And then this is going to be decorative, like so. And this whole piece then gets attached to the back. There we go. That's one of them. Well, the split tails functionality. And now we got to do the same thing with 10. So we mirror with 10. That would have been a pain to try to mirror at the same time. But we know how it goes together. So building a second time will go pretty quick. Take our extra piece out first. Pieces, I guess. And here we go. We know what we're doing this time, right? Right? Kinda. We know what we're doing. It's just a mirror of what we did, right? Should be straightforward. This shouldn't be any problem at all. Wait. Wrong piece. There we go. Are you a sorter? Oh my gosh, Duflunky's been here. Let's get massive. Yes. Best third monitor content right there. Let's go. Sorry, Duflunky. I've been so concentrated on this, I've missed the chat. My apologies. So, yeah, sometimes I sort, sometimes I null, sometimes I don't. Like last time when I was like building the other side of this, absolutely, you saw that I did. And it tends to speed things up, I think. And then other times it's just kind of fun to pick and choose fine stuff. There it is. I mean, kind of with the little ones, I never sort really the little ones. That's why I have these nice little containers. Those help a lot with the whole concept of sorting and everything. Or at least having to avoid having to sort all the time. That's for sure. Because, I mean, sorting the small ones, like I get sorting some of this stuff so you can find your pieces faster sometimes. But sorting some of the small stuff just becomes a pain. Enjoying the build. No worries enjoying the build. Yeah. It's a fun one. 1,901 pieces. They count the brick separator as that extra piece. So 1,900 pieces in this. Where's that tall one? This is where sorting would have helped me. I would have had this tall one. Oh, it's probably over here, actually. There it is. Yep, it's right there. So lots of snots. So we're going to be putting more decorative stuff on, of course. Well, of course, it's a mirror of what we just did. So it's not a surprise what's going to happen here. Got our little bar. There's our little thing that sticks straight up. We got where's our gold bar? That's gray. There's one. Oh, holding it in my hand. I'm looking for the wrong piece. I was looking for this for some reason. Holding it in my hand. No, I'm looking for the piece it sockets into. Which was, there it is. Okay, so I'll get this back engine tail pod all put together here. Ooh, we need a dot. Almost missed that dot. There we go. And we got the nice piece here. This funny, where's that funny piece? Sorry, just know I need that later. Not that, this funny piece. 1x2 with some texture there. And here, two 1x2s underneath of it. This is going to be part of where one of our back engines connects in. As we found out just a moment ago, as we finished the other one. Be interesting to see what, because that's the other worry about doing a mirror of something like this too, is sometimes they get sneaky and they're not a true mirror of each other, where they have like slight little, like with these extra detail pieces, like that detail piece is the same. Sometimes they put a slightly different detail piece on it. So it's like, you can't always assume that it is going to be identical. There's a nice little rocket piece, which goes right in there. And we got to go ahead and start putting these pieces on. We got the little special pieces with the stud out both the right and the front, or the side and front, I should say. We're going to need those. I like it. What they're doing is they're having you build down the one side so that visually you can tell the difference. You technically, there's, I mean, in some ways, there's nothing stopping you from building down both sides at once. Okay, jumped ahead of myself. Yeah, there's nothing really stopping you building both sides at once, other than the fact that you wouldn't be able to see what they're doing on the other side as easily. So it's kind of nice how they do that little, let's build the tall bricks down one side, and then we'll come back and we'll build the tall bricks down the other side again. There we go. Now we can put these on at the right height and location. So that gives us a whole bunch of studs right down that side. Is that a 1x3 that went there? No, there's this little dot in there too that I missed. Missing the dots. And then a 1x2. An engine attached to it. There we go. Now it's all lined up. So yeah, now we built down that one side. They're like, okay, yeah, I'll put this here and start building down the other side. I love this too. There's one stud there that this one's going to take up. So it's only on one stud. There's no stud there. And they take this piece and hook it on to, let's look like 4 studs. 4 studs here. And the rest of it's, I mean, it's got a place to sit over there, but no stud at the end. But I mean, it ends up being so solid anyway, because these lock it down like crazy. Oh, there's one of our pieces that we're gonna plug it into the back of the ship with. The upper of the piece. The other piece is going to be down here, down underneath of it. That's going to be that last piece that we build. And we need that on top of that. And it's going to ask for another one on top of that. And this nice little grabby piece, for whatever reason, sits outside. And these nice specialty pieces just click right in there and give a nice slope at the end. And lock everything down too at the same time. Now let's get the smooth pieces on. One by 4s in the other bin. And then this one's going to be a little tan square, a little brown square. A little tan square. I have extras, but there it is. And then one by 4 gold bar that's orange, and a 1 by 4. And we got the top done. So now we finish up the everything nice on this side. Oop, wrong place. It goes there. Because we still have the snot that goes there, and then that specialty piece, which I just saw a little bit ago. Here it is. It covers up that part of the engine. And of course, eventually that snot is going to have the little half moon there. We're going to have a small winglet, orange winglet. There we go. There, and then this little pointy flat piece locks it in. And of course, get that there because we're going to start putting the slopes to get nice smooth. Get this behind here, finish up that part of the rocket. And that means sticker time again. So this one, specifically that direction, gets number 7 on it. Oh my God, only 2 more stickers left. Holy cow. Pretty good. And that one specifically goes right there. Now we just go crazy. Oh, wrong. That's going to be on the other end. We need not this one. This will be for the other side. We need this one. There we go. Amazing the wonderful shapes that they're able to create here. Especially, I mean, just that little thing of like, it's straight all the way across, and then comes down here and meets up on that. All with a nice slope. Okay, time to flip. And where's our little, there's our little ball on a stick. It's going to go right there with an orange bar on top of it. And then we have to put a gray bar down these two. So far, it's a perfect mirror. Not seen where it's deviated from the other design. So even kind of just detail wise, which they could like have like, oh, this side's a little bit different or something like that. They have not done. Okay. Yeah, we got to do the special thing with the engines. Convert an Audi to an innie, basically. Convert these 4 Audis, 4 studs, to a single stud with a jumper plate, which then plugs into here and creates it back to 4 innies. Also gives it some, it's doing that, but also the cool thing too is it gives it a little bit of depth to the engine, right? You get an engine with, you know, the business end, the glowy blue bit at the very end, but you still get, you know, a little bit of roundness to it. So you get some depth to it, which is kind of cool. There we go. And where's our winglet? Here's our winglet we wanted. Matches that side. Lock it down just like the other one. And close to sticker time on this side now to get that last sticker done. Yep, there we go. Okay, so last sticker. It's going to be like this. Oh, God, it feels good getting the last sticker done. Holy cow, just having an empty sticker sheet feels good. Because, boy, they cause me almost anxiety sometimes. I'm okay without being perfect, but I like it to be reasonably right. Reasonably good looking. There's our piece. There's our very last piece right there for this side. For these being decorative pieces that you just put on and they're only being held down by 2 studs, even though they have the ability to hold down more studs down here, they're solid. I mean, they're on there. Like, they're not going to just fall off. Again, this is, I mean, look at this thing. This is a good play set for, I don't know, say 7, 8-year-olds around there. Maybe a little bit older. But I'd say 8 would be a good age, maybe. And not completely destroy it. I mean, let's face facts. They're going to completely destroy it. That's half the fun. But I mean, if they're just picking it up and playing with it, it's pretty solid. It sticks together. Oh boy, all these pieces left are additional pieces for both of these nacelles after we're done. All this stuff is going to be additional things for both these nacelles, I think. Okay, so we got to get the bottom piece, which is going to be the other piece that sockets in, built. So we're going to need that at least. That as well. That piece. We need this piece. And we need the ball socket, of course. So this goes on the back of the slope. Wrong one. While the snot goes sideways facing us. One ball goes that way. The other one heads towards the back. That's what. Yes. So 1x2 gray. Seriously, where's our... Oh, they put in the big... All the 1x2 grays before were in the little sacks. Now they put in the big sack. Then we get our upside down cheese wedge. And there we go. That connects on to here. Cheese wedge facing forward. Snot's facing towards the rocket, which is going to allow us to plug into the back. But that's not going to be stable enough by itself. So a 1x4 smooth piece just locks it in. Like just boom. And then all of a sudden it's stable enough to plug in. Now there's a winglet that goes on there too. That's decorative as opposed to the other one being like really locking it in. Cool. That now plugs in. So here we go. Erg. God, this thing's solid. This thing's heavy. Just 2 ball sockets, and there we go. Now we got our splitting tail. Oh, there we go. So there was a design change. So good thing I didn't mirror it. It was such a subtle design change that I actually missed it as it was going through. So that's cool. But I think that's pretty much the only one. Okay. So there we go. We got that. And then we got these extra pieces, which means that we're going to be adding something to somewhere. So this definitely is going to be mirrored. So we'll just build both these at the same time. Maybe. We'll figure it out if we do it right. Get you a little bit further out of the way so we can see what we're doing. These also are going to hook into a ball socket, so these are some additional wing surfaces, control surfaces, I guess is the appropriate way, right, that we'd be saying that. Getting ahead of ourselves. Gotta get this nice and set up to accept the wing surfaces. Real quick and easy there so far. Now we put the wing on, like that, and like so. And we need the smooth winglets on both sides here. Surprised it didn't lock in more. That's like really, really thin. And that plugs in to this bottom socket and comes up there and gives it a good shape. But also, I guess you could actually have a control surface with it as well. For that matter, it's also rotatable, so. Oop. There we go, and then we got the one on the other side, because we mirrored it real quick. That's the other one done. Putting them on. And now we got two more control surfaces. They're going to be smaller, even. So we got our portion that grabs the ball socket. So there's one. Here's the other. Oops. If you're going to mirror them, you got to mirror them. Okay, so we got those mirrored. And then once you have one, just hooks together like this, that, and there. Wait. Oh, phew. Just didn't feel it. There we go. And so these go onto the other ball socket that, or the ball that was there, like thusly. Oop, wrong. This one goes here. Boy, they just fit together too. But, you know, they can come out and they can be like air brakes. That doesn't feel quite right. It feels like, it feels just a little off, because I think that's facing the wrong direction on this one. That should be facing the other way, because it was this one that I built for this side, but I think what I did, yes, I built it, that's why I did. The wing is facing the wrong way here. There we go. This is supposed to be the other wing. That's why it's this piece going down is hitting it wrong. So I had the wrong wings on the wrong one. This is supposed to be here and locked in. This one is supposed to have this one locked in. Now that will work a lot better because this will go in like this. Yes, then they fit in a lot better because it was this piece was hitting here. So yeah, aerodynamic, and then all of a sudden air brakes. Just serious air brakes on this thing. So yes. Just pops right in. I guess could become control surfaces as well, but primarily air brake control surfaces. Just right down and out. And then fold right up to be very aerodynamic. Oops. Sorry. Down and out, right? There we go. And then this fold back, super aerodynamic. Right into this split tail design. Whew, Nelly. That is bag 10. We only have 11, 12, 13, and 14 left. So we're doing pretty good. And we get to build a rocket next. Not a rocket, but rocket. So yeah, so let's see. The next one, bag 11, based off of this instruction, is going to not only give us rocket, but it's going to give us the top area, the closing roof, as it were. And of course, rocket's going to have a pretty cool gun, it looks like. So let's jump in. Let's get bag 11 going. As soon as I find my scissors. I'll get the top, and then we got the front canopy. I'm not even sure what's after that at that point. Hopefully we're getting some good Lego sounds coming through every now and then. Sure, it's kind of faint, but still. Okay, so Rocket has a head. I mean, of course he has a head, but I mean, Lego-wise, he has a molded head. So he has a snout and everything, right? As opposed to a normal Lego guy that has just a round head. And then maybe has like helmets on, right? This is important because like we were talking about the other day, the first short character, which I think Rocket will be a short character. The first short character was Yoda in the Lego sets when Lego pretty much did their first IP tie-in, which was Star Wars Episode 1. So the very first short Lego person was Yoda. And because they're is it 4 bricks tall? Yeah, 4 bricks tall. So they're normally 4 bricks tall, not 4 studs tall. And so Yoda was shorter than that. Rocket I'm anticipating to be short as well. Also, similarly, in that whole episode 1 kind of release stuff, they also released the first character with a fully molded head as opposed to the normal round head. And that was Jar Jar Binks. So Jar Jar Binks and Yoda were the first characters to have those changes to them. That I find interesting because Rocket, I don't know if he's the first character like this. He probably isn't, but it is interesting that Rocket has both of those traits. He has the short legs, and the disadvantage of short legs is they don't bend, right? You can't walk with these, I guess. He has a separate tail piece, kind of like some people have a separate jetpack. And then he has the molded head. So he has a molded head and the short legs. So he's like Yoda with the short legs, like Jar Jar Binks with the custom molded head. So kind of interesting. Kind of interesting that where some of this stuff came from, and when they introduced some of this stuff. Okay, a couple more pieces that I just want to get separated out so I know where they are. Not completely sorted, but kind of know where some of my smooth pieces are, some of my wing pieces are, some of my corner pieces are. Day Drinker would be, I wouldn't say disappointed, but boy, she would be frustrated with my pell-mell kind of knolling here. Well, it looks like one winglet's going to be gray, and no, because they're both the same type. Huh. And I don't see, oh, because the other one's, that's weird, because the gray winglet is over here, and the orange winglet is over here. That's weird, but whatever. Okay, so Rocket, he, like the Chitauri, has to have a cool gun, right? Where'd you go, Rocket? There you are. So the first thing we're going to do is, since there was a character in the bag, you always build the character first. But now we also have his gun. We're going to build as well. We got a little, of course it's Rocket, so he can't have a gun if it can't be modified. So he's got nice little computer keyboard that's going to be on it. We got a shiny bit. And, just a square barrel. That sounds good for Rocket. And where is the... And then the funny thing is they just use the most basic little gun piece, because everything else here is, already built in. So then, there you go. You have Rocket's gun. Bot, going off screen. And true to form, it's pretty much nearly the size he is. So it's got Rocket with his giant gun. Okay, now we're going to be working on the bottom a little bit. So let's flip over very carefully. I don't think the wings are meant to support the weight very long like that, but we're going to do two of these, because there's going to be one on each side. So we've got another mirror build. And we're going to have two each of the corner pieces and two each of these pieces that have holes in them for attaching. And two each of the small winglets. They divided the winglets between the big bag and the little bag. Bzah. Not only, weird. Very weird. That would drive somebody nuts if they do what I do and they keep the bags all separate. Okay, so to start with, So this one's going to be facing this way. So we got to put that piece in like that. And if that one's facing that way, that means this one's going to be facing this way to mirror it out. And then you just lock it in with the little quarter piece. That makes it easy because there's only one way that can fit in. And then you get a winglet on the edge end of it. So since it's going this way, this winglet goes on this way, which means this one goes on this way. Oh yeah, so we only need 2 winglets total. That's why the other 2 are in there. They actually are having you build kind of both at the same time, mirrored, but oh, and they go right on these little, I forgot those pins were even there. Holy cow. Here we go. So it takes this, all this open spot right here with that pin, and you just hook this in right on that pin and bam, clean it right up. And we're done with being upside down. So we're going to flip back over again. God, this thing's getting big. I want to not zoom out too much if I can avoid it. Okay, so now we got some piping. So we got these 2 pieces here, which look decorative, and then we have these 2 pieces here. Nope, we're actually going to do pipes from here to here. And of course this moves, so the pipes have to move too. So to do this, nice thing is we just build these the exact same way. We're going to build 4 of these. So we get 4 of these little bent arms, which are really cool. They don't bend themselves. They're not bending arms. They're like what? I don't know. 135 degree angle, I'm guessing. 90 and 45. It looks like 45 down. So I'm guessing that this guy is 135. Just gonna get a bunch of those and a bunch of these little grabber pieces. 8 of them, in fact. There we go. And 4 of these pins. Now these are not Technic pins. These aren't the hollow pins. These are, so let me show these different pieces we're going to put together. So you can see, it's just a little round pin. It's not hollow like the Technic connector pins are. Because that's just going to go right in the end of this piece. And one side of it is going to have the arm. So I just got to do that 3 more times. And it isn't really a mirror because you just rotate it and it's mirrored. So whichever side you need it on, so this is kind of the end piece, right? And this, it'll be able to rotate there on the one side and rotate where it's hooked in. So while the center part of it is not flexible, the rest of it's flexible enough to react with those rear nacelles, that split nacelles coming open. So those, take our ship, we're going to connect from here to there. So connect top one on first. You can just barely see in there to there. And then we get this nice, I don't know whether you want to call it fuel lines or probably hydraulic lines. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't want either of those exposed normally. But as you can see, it just flexes real nice with it. So that's pretty cool. Also gives it a little bit more rigidity where it doesn't just, like this one, if I go and move around, it kind of pops loose, not just the ball socket, but I mean, it's also that it would spin down because it doesn't have a lot of friction yet. So this this opens up real easy, especially if you're like, oh, I'm going to bank, and it comes open, right? Whereas now, the other side, because of these, has a lot more friction. So that's nice design. It's not only is it aesthetically probably based on something from the movie, but design-wise, it gives a little bit more friction to these opening, and even keeps them open. So that's kind of cool. So there they are in action. Okay. And then we got a little bit of covering up to do. So we got down right here, we got a little, not covering up, but just aesthetic piece. So we got these fancy diamond pieces here. And we're just going to put these fancy round, the oval Technic pieces that will plug into the pins on the bottom of it. And then that will plug into a 1x2 that has a ball on the end. Here we go. And that'll just plug right into that ball socket. There we go. And then you got another control surface or just aesthetic piece. So we got ball socket right there. Just there you go. So more control surfaces slash detail pieces being put in place. Now we're going to build the roof. So we're going to slide that bit out of the way so we can watch what we're doing. And we'll start pretty simply. Go together, not too many bits at the beginning. And we'll set that aside because then we're going to take another bit. We get this clear kind of, it's a bit of a slope. Camera ain't going to focus on it too well, but it's a bit of a slope and clear kind of roof section. Not that you're going to be able to see through it because there's going to be small bits of winglets right underneath of it. Oh, and this hooks in right there. Now we get the bigger winglets, and we stack in orange on gray with a 1 stud offset. Cat fur, go away. There we go. And those will go on either side of this. So is it? There we go. Oh, that's too high, or yeah, that's one too high. They're supposed to be just on that 1 stud and even with the rest, like that. So it's only 1 stud holding that on. Only 1 stud holding that on right now. But then we'll get these extra winglets, and again, one's in the big bag for some reason. Put that there. I'll grab onto it a little bit. For whatever reason, the other one's in here. don't know why. It's kind of weird. Nope, it does not go quite there because this goes in between. Then those go on. And that locks it in real nicely. Now it's a lot more solid. So 1x8 right behind. Now it's a pretty solid piece. Now we got to get some smooth pieces in here. So we're going to have our cutoff slopes for the angle. So we can keep our angle going. And behind it is just a basic, what, 1x3? 1x3 smooth piece, yep. And then either side of the clear cockpit, we're going to have the gray ones. We're also going to have this clear 1x2 here behind. I say cockpit, it really isn't. It's just the roof area. The front cockpit we're going to be doing later. So we get that nice clear bit on the back. And then the gray slopes on either side, lock everything together and make it look nice. And then behind that, we have the two gray winglets, the little bitty guys. And it's actually going to match a little bit the directionality of that clear piece in the middle. That's the wrong ring. That's the wrong winglets. I'm actually looking for something a little bit different. They have 3 studs on them. Actually, I don't see those pieces. We didn't use them accidentally for something else when we needed to use those, did we? We didn't have that many pieces in this bike. No, we haven't used anything like that yet. Oh, we did. We did. Haha! We used the wrong pieces on this. That's what we needed to use. This was supposed to use this piece with no stud sticking out of it. There we go. So we just used the wrong piece there. So see, no stud on that one, on that angle piece. This one has a stud. So we just need to there we go. And back to no stud there. Okay. Because then these with 3 studs each perfectly match the angle of that clear piece right there. Here, I'll go in for a close-up. There, see? Perfectly matching that little clear top piece are these pieces right here. Cool. Quick course correction. Look at these orange pieces, locking that in. Flip it over. We're going to be doing some reinforcement down here. Starting by that piece. 2x6 followed by 1x6. Flip it back over. We've got to get smooth 1x4 in the back with a gold bar on one side, really orange in this case. And then do a little 1x1, followed by a gray smooth, or excuse me, brown smooth 1x1. Oh, cool. And then we get these angled pieces hanging off the end that way. I'm just getting a nice little sharp corner. What? Nope. That was two of the same piece. I need the other angle. There we go. So it looks like the roof is going to be in two pieces, because this one we then put on the forward place. Here? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, yep. So it'll hook into those two studs there. So 2, 2, and then 2 up front. And it just goes right there. Well, back, I should say, because this is the back of the craft. So it covers up the back real nicely, allowing you access in there to get at your minifigures or place your minifigures. So now we got to finish up this. This is going to be the other part of the roof. This wasn't long enough by itself, so we had to add one more stud. And then reinforcement, also rails for adding the smooth sections on top that we'll be adding. And we're going to put some grates in between. Well, these are the chromed grates too. They have a slight metallic sheen to them. Okay, and we flip it over and we get towards the front. We'll hook on two one stud for those corner pieces, and then down each side four, just 2 studs on each side. It looks like 2 studs hooking on instead of all 4. But we're going to put 4 of these smooth tan hemispherical, not even hemispherical, I guess, but whatever. Yeah, do Flunky, I get what you're saying. Makes you want to go and buy Lego. I've got some fun sets. I've got some fun sets I've rebuilt and some fun sets I have not built yet. So we're going to go back over. And we do 1x4 across the back, followed by a little 1x2 smooth in the middle. And then we got 2 upward facing clamps. These are 1x1 clamps, so you always got to check to make sure they're orientated the right way, because they could go either way. Get that there. We're going to leave most of those fancy chrome grates visible, but we are going to close some of it off, like that, with that winglet and this other winglet. And then we're going to do another 1x4 smooth and another 2x4 smooth. There we go. So we get the whole top done. Now we're going to hit these edges, and that's going to be done with our little, we got the long ones there, and then a short one, and then a long one. I love this pattern here. It's got a nice alternating pattern for kind of how the ribs go down this. So there's one side right there. So we'll just do the opposite side as well. And then it's and then couple little decorative pieces, and then the whole roof, the removable roof, will be done. Get this nice alternating pattern for the ribs. And then we've got 2 decorative pieces, which are, I don't even know what those are. I don't even know what they're supposed to be normally. There we go. And that is our completed roof. This goes on with these towards the back. So the back's that way. Just sets in right there. So if it's going to set in there, it's only going to connect with those two, right? Those 2 studs. It's going to, and it's a precision fit. It's not messing around. It's got, did I miss? No, I didn't mess anything up. I wonder if I do it that way, if it'll work better. No, it seems off. Something seems off there. It should fit. This seems like this is facing the wrong way. That's why. These 2 pieces right here. Okay. Yes. That's what's going on. Those are supposed to be facing forward. Now, the roof fits on perfectly fine. Look at that. Look at that. It's just, you can't even tell that it was meant to come off. It just fits in so nicely. And then you just like, boy, getting off is going to be the fun part, right? There we go. And then you have access to the inside to be able to place your minifigures. Oop. Sorry, I'm fixing my espresso machine that's there. So there we go. We got that roof. Still got to do the front cockpit. But we're on 12. So we got 12 and 13, which are still chunks of the ship. In fact, 12 will do that front cockpit. 14, and this is one of the reasons why I like this set, 14 actually will have the stand, the display stand to put it on. Look at all these extra pieces. Two angled bits, and they're opposite, aren't they? That leads me to think that I missed some angled bits somewhere. As I was going through quickly, I did. Haha. These 2 angled bits go here and here. There we go. Doing a little bit more aesthetic for that roof. Otherwise, these got enough almost to build another gun for Rocket. Okay, yeah. So yeah, again, one of the reasons why I like this set is that bag number 14 is going to be the display stand for this whole thing. And which is, I think that's important on some of the ships like this, because I mean, you got to put it somewhere in between playing with it, right? And when you don't have a display stand, like the Millennium Falcons don't have display stands, and really could use them because they're so big. Yeah, I'm not going to null this. I'm sorry. Oh, Venus White Star says, looking great. Thank you. I'm sorry, Day Drinker, if you happen to be watching, but I'm not going to... not enough pieces here to null it. But look at this. Look at this front cockpit. That is a great piece. A great kind of unique piece that is only going to be found in this set. So that'll be cool. I'll put that aside till we need it. Okay, so first of all, we've got to get some controls and a seat in. So we're going to, right here, bop a little seat in for like Star-Lord or someone to sit down in. And then there's going to be two controls, two like throttle controls. So they got a couple of, here's one. And let's see, where's the other one? Are they mirror? Well, actually, yeah, you just flip them around, right? So if it doesn't work that way, you flip it around the other way, and then it's a mirror. And I guess whatever looks best. So it's going to have actually the circular piece up. There we go. And it's going to have like, almost like tank controls right there for our driver. Now we're going to build the whole front piece, and the whole front piece looks just as solid as the rest of this based on this little bitty picture right here. Look at that. It looks solid. As I said a couple of times, it's one of the things that really impressed me about this particular kit is just this set has seemed to be a very solid play set where somebody could play with this. And I mean, yes, like any Lego, if you drop it, it's going to be broken into pieces. Hopefully none of the pieces actually break themselves, just that, you know, it comes flying apart. But certainly, you know, just regular old flying it around and having fun and stuff like that. This seems like it's a pretty robust set. So I'm mirroring two things here because this instructions are actually saying, hey, you need to build two of these anyway. They are mirrored, so either side of the rest of this cockpit area. Gray dot. There's my gray dots. Need 4 of them actually. There we go. So we need gray dots on the bottom. And then we're going to flip it over. And we're going to have gray dots on the top. So these pieces just hook in just like that. It's nice because the gray dots that they put here, right, this gray dot here kind of guides you in of where you're supposed to put it. Like, oh, it goes that far back. Okay. So it's nice how they do that where it kind of gives you guides. Like the designs they've been doing, just the design innovations that they do are pretty amazing. So we got some snots on either side. Of course we do. It's not a modern set unless you got snots in it. Then we got double. Where are the double grabbies? There we go. Double 1x2 grabbing sections. There we go. And then just a little 1x2 in between to finish it up. And then we're gonna lock in. These extenders, gonna lock them in with some corners that are gonna lock those two together. And more snots. 1 by 1 right there to level that out. Same thing on the side. 1 by 1. Levels that out nicely. Get the little gray single snot there. And then the dark gray 1 by 4. Oops, pop that off. Okay, now we're going to go build what's going to be on those little pieces, which are separate. So you got, again, something to mirror. 2 1 by 2 stacks on each other. Tell you, 1 by 2 stacked on each other, probably 2 pieces that are going to be the most difficult to ever get back apart later. So I pretty much build a set and I leave the set built, right? For the most part. That's not what kids are going to do. And good on them. I mean, the whole idea of Lego is to be like, super creative and everything. So they should be taking it apart and playing with it in other ways and building other things. So it just comes to that point of like, okay, so how easy is it to take this set apart? And I would say 1 by 2s stacked on top of each other is probably one of the hardest things to take apart. We've got our little binoculars, which are going to face this way. And then a quarter circle right underneath that. And since this other one is, I want to rotate just a little bit. There we go. Since this one's going to be opposite, but not opposite in the right way. Built it wrong. Actually, wait, hold on. Yes, this one's correct. This one is not. It's supposed to be here. I had to move it over one. There we go. Okay, so it is going to have binoculars facing that way. And another quarter moon. Where's my quarter moon? There it is. Facing that way. There. And these 2 pieces go on like that so that the little binoculars are facing forward. And this will kind of lock them together a little bit. Starting to. And we got these little guys are going to have some cheese wedges on them. Clear purple cheese wedges. 1 and 2. And those just sit right behind there. And then get some winglets. Because we've got to have some orange in here, right? Still haven't even, like, some of the bits on this are still pretty fragile, right? This, because it hasn't finished locking everything together. So we're building 2 more mirrored sections. pretty straightforward. We got a small cheese wedge, regular 1x1 cheese wedge on top of a 1x1 to give it a little bit different slope right at the edge there. And then on top of that, we'll do the 1x2 with the integrated cheese wedges. Kind of a slipper. There they are. It's kind of a slipper almost. So it's a 1x2 with a cheese wedge already built into it. A little bit different angle than the normal cheese wedge too, so I guess not quite accurate. There we go. And these go cheese wedge facing down off of this on either side. Oh boy. More fun. So we need 4 of these slopes. These are some pretty funny slopes too. Also almost shoe-shaped. Aha! I have coffee incoming. Okay, so I need 4 of these funny looking guys. And then 2 for each side. I need 2 of these corners. And each side I'll need 4 1x1s? Holy cow. Or no, it's 4 total. Yeah. They're giving me all the pieces for mirroring it. So each one, I've got to put the corner piece in the back with a 1x1 on top of the one corner and the other 1x1 extending their side. So it doesn't look like much, but to start. So I don't need these other corners. So then you shoe here and a shoe there, and it gives you the stacked slope. And we put that on either side. The lower slope towards the top. So we get this kind of, see, we're getting stacked slopes on multiple levels here. Now we're going to take the other corners again. And the regular slopes, along with a short slope and little 1x1 smooth flat stops. And I have cats sleeping around me that apparently like to just sleep to my voice. They just come around. I've got at least 2 in here. I had more earlier, but nope, none on the computer. I had 1 on the computer last night, which is why we ended up having like 5 videos last night. Okay, that's going to be fun editing. As I edited it all down from the 4 different times that Cat said shut down my computer by standing on the power button. Okay, and we get another stack slope this way. See, so we get two different levels. Again, the shorter the two levels towards the top. Oof. Still is not locked down and solid yet. Still somewhat fragile. I mean, this is locking some of the pieces down a little bit. But that comes next. Now we're going to lock everything down. You got this piece, going to lock down the entire front. Just like that. Now it's much more solid already. And to get it even better, we're going to work our way back. Those are just there to space so that the next pieces lock in better. Plus this gives you that additional shape. So now we got 3 levels with that. So because get the scallop here, scallop there. So we got 3 levels of these stacked slopes. As that keeps popping off because we haven't put down the piece that's going to lock it in yet. It's coming next. It's going to go right across the back, this big old piece. Locking all of that down. So those will stop popping off a little bit. And then since we need to be decorative, we're going to have this nice little piece here and here. And then we'll have matching gray pieces opposite of it that match the angle perfectly. Gives that nice look. And then we have these pieces right here, which are going to hold the canopy in place because these are going to attach here. And since we got to continue to be decorative, we've got sloped piece there with the slope with the angle. So we're continuing that third layer of kind of slope here. Then we're going to have a nice rounded piece back there and another cutoff piece. Angle cutoff piece that's going to continue with our angle there and having that third slope. So we're going to do the same thing over on this side. There we go. So we get a nice smooth transition and good lines all the way through. I mean, this is really starting to come together as a very good, solid, 3-dimensional, smooth, nice looking entity. Okay, so down at the bottom, we're going to have 2 quarter circles forming a half circle. And that's going to be right underneath where the canopy is going to go. The canopy is going to come down right to there. We'll put the canopy on. There we go. And then, so 2 ways to access your characters that way. We got this piece here, and we got another one just like it, kind of just like it, but it's going to be with gray and the chromed 1x2 with a bar. And those are going to go right underneath of it. So we're going to have right there is going to be the orange, right underneath of it is going to be the gray. And this whole piece, got some cheese wedges back here to finish this off. This part that we missed. That looks pretty good. Oh, and then we got here, we use some quarter moons to just kind of decoratively cover up that area like this. One, instead of making a half circle, we're going to make almost an S shaped there. And there you have it. We've got the whole, like, all nice and decorative cockpit opening that we put right here. Look at that. Look at how nicely that fits. You can open this up and just access the front seat if you want. Or open the whole thing and be able to have access to both seats very easily. That goes there. There we go. Only one piece left over. Extra piece. Okay, so that brings us to bag 13. Bag 13 is going to be the massive winglets coming off of here. Control surfaces. So this should be the last bag that is pretty much the ship itself. And then bag 14 should be mostly the base, if not all the base. All your base belong to us. Huh, okay. Don't know what that was. So big, long pieces here. No pieces left in the bag. Definitely some decorative and other pieces here. Ooh, I had the extra cheese wedge too. No pieces left in the bags. Good. Okay. Now, I could mirror this. Yeah, might as well. In theory, all the pieces are here, right? I have coffee incoming. So this should be, let me move the ship a little bit further out of the way so we can see this. So we're gonna attempt to mirror this the whole way through. Since it has all the pieces all handy dandy right here. Cat downstairs done lost his mind because his mom is home. He is very happy about this. He's yelling at the door that is closed. Little girl next to me just woke up. She looks like she's about to jump down and join him. Yeah, and he was a good boy. He did not rush the door and try to get in the garage. I could actually hear that from up here. So this is a winglet facing this way, which means that this guy goes here like that. And now we get the big mamba jambas on there. Look at that. Raw. Look at these sweet ass huge winglets. Just nice. There's our little gray ones. Let's say little, they're actually 4 long. Oh. And what we have is when we do this, do another wing there, and another 3 by 3 goes here. Barely even hit on by 1 stud. That's okay. So far, so good. There we go. And then we get even more wings. And these nice. That goes here because in between is actually going to be a longer 2 by, what's that? 12? 2 by 10. 2 by 10. And that's going to lock in those pieces. Make it a lot more solid. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. Something's one off there for some reason. Also, that's in the wrong place. That's why. That goes there. So our 2 by 10 goes there. Okay, fixed. Shit. Okay, oh, gets complex all of a sudden because we got these fun pieces. And Koofy. We got our nice teal dots. Thank you, dear. So, this, yeah, it's looking great.
How many bags do you have left?
Just this. I'm on bag 13. There's a 14th bag, and that's the stand.
Oh, nice.
So it's almost done. So yeah, this looks like a complex mirror build that I'm doing. And we need 8 of these for mirror building. There. So these, one goes that way. One goes towards the center, and 2 go out that way. So this gets funny real quick because this is and that goes underneath the wing with the 2 facing to the outside. And I'm trying to get the positioning right. Oh, yeah, okay. Meow.
Yeah.
Yes. Ah,
Hi, Lola.
see, that's the other thing.
Hi.
They did say take one little doot, one by one, and put it on the one that goes out to the side like that. Because, as we've seen other times, this helps guide you where to put it. Because that one little dot right there goes right here. So when we put it on, it's going to go right in that square right there, while this rests on that. So it kind of guides you where to put it. Besides the fact that it will be needed structurally, but it's just small, smart little things like that that really make some of these Lego designers like over the top, really smart. Okay, now in the open space that we're going to have here, we're going to put more of our engines. And now we got a couple of things to go down here, including teal dots and a 1x1 snot and a snot that gives you 4 dots, 4 snots after it is in place. So we do 1x1 first with a teal dot. If it's teal, that means it's going to be covered up later. And we'll put that, so then we have 5 studs across the bottom there. So we got our 1x1. If we put it on the right way. And on top of that, we are going to build some contraptions for decorative purposes. And these, they're one-dimensional pretty much, so there's no really mirroring it. You're just building 2 at the same time. This is using the nice little slopes with the vents in them. So it gives a nice shape, as you can see, as well as just nice visual aesthetics with the vents. So you get this angle where you get this nice little kind of almost winglet, and then that angle from there like that. And that just goes right here on the side and actually continues that shape right there real nicely. Yeah, and then over it, we're going to lock it in place. This gray wings. So that's going to not really lock it down, but at least cover stuff up, make it look nice. And then right behind it, we'll do this neat little Technic piece, followed up by our gray bars. Not too much more to do. We've got a couple other wings to lock things down. So we're gonna, so we're going to get that straight on that line. And then this will continue down like that. So we get these matching kind of inner wing slopes. And down here at the bottom, we've got this just being held on with two little studs and a platform on the other side to just sit on. These round pieces go here. No, they go in one. Go here. Like that. There we go. That one's a little bit harder to see, but yeah. And then we just fill them in with this little piece like that. Oh, that's why that single dot was supposed to be in here. So a single smooth dot was supposed to be right here. Because it helps support these when you put them on. So then you got support under that one little bit. Okay, now we've got some type of elbow that we're going to do. So build 2 sets of these. So one of them is going to go through the 2 that we have at the bottom and just have one blue at the one side, but the other one is going to be blue on both sides. And these are going to socket right in to these that we put here. And they're actually going to have the ability to go right across as well. Aha, yes, because that's how you, it's one of the ways we're going to attach them. So this, which looks like a stud from that angle, but if you pull it up, there's actually a hole right there. That one hole right there is going to fit into this space right here. And then we're going to have a pin that goes all the way through. It says, put it on. Yeah, there's 2 sockets that the Technic pins just pop right into. So this is this is going to be a little bit Okay, yeah. Technic pin on each side of an angle. There we go. So is that all the way in is the question. Seems like it. Yeah, it seems like it's all the way in. Okay. In fact, might even be easier to do it this direction. This is, holy cow, this is really coming together nice. There we go. So that, they're just two Technic pins there, which is why they're going to hook them together with this here in a minute. Yeah, so it builds the other wing. So we skip 1, 2, 3, 4 page turns. I mean, we jumped from, holy cow. That was 208 to 216. We jumped 8 pages there by mirroring this. God, this thing's got a wingspan. Holy cow. So then, yes, we take these and we just put them right in here. And I'll do a close-up on the second one once I get this one in. And it just slides in. It's just held in by friction. Just a little bit of friction. So, yeah. Okay, so here's where the wings that we just put on. There's the hole. 3 of these were on this side, and 1 of them is on the ship side. And we just take this right here, and it just goes all the way through all 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And then that keeps the wings from accidentally pulling off. Holy snot. And we're not done yet with the ship. There's still a little bit more to do with the ship. Oh, and it's going to be upside down for it. Okay. It's like, seriously, like you can bounce this thing around. It's a good play set, that's for sure. Oh, that pin came out though. That pin can fall out. Oh yeah, okay, so it's aha. They're smart. So see, that pin came loose and actually fell out. So the next thing you do is you take these and you put it the other side of the pin, and it just plops in right there, right? Because I put the pin in there, and that holds the pin in place. Keeps it from falling out. So brilliant. Brilliant engineering. And okay, so is this going on the top? No, this is, oh, these are control surfaces underneath this still. So we still got 2 more control surfaces underneath this to do. And then we're on the stand. So mirroring again. These look like these are much faster, smaller than the other ones. Let me move the ship a little bit further out of the way so we got some build area here. Okay. And so these are going to clip in here. And there's a grabby clip that's going to clip onto a bar. And then here is just a dimple. It's got a dimple on either side of it. So the part that clips into it is this. See, that's got 2 grabby bits on either side, different, and it's going to hook around the dimple there. So they got 2 different connectors at the same time to give it a little, especially since the other thing about these black ones here is they have like indents, notches, kind of like a bike shifter that, you know, ratchets a little bit. That's going to give it a little bit of ratchet, I believe. So not only will it give it more friction so that you have a little bit more control and stability with it, but I think also at the same time that it's going to be give you the ability to ratchet it real nicely with that extra friction. That's a 2x12. Okay, and we're going to put engines underneath because that will not only look good, but it's also going to lock everything together. The other one that goes, there's another one somewhere. There, it's underneath the ship. Got parts escaping underneath the ship. There we go. So we got our nice ice blue engines that are all over this thing. So lots of clear pieces. So that locks the bottom together. Flip it. Smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Yes. Oh, you're looking at, yes, she is. Now that you're home, she's like, okay, I can go back to sleep. And this matches slope like that. And that's it. Those are put together. Well, okay, so we also got the gray pieces here.
Was she supervising the whole time?
No, she's been sleeping the whole time. She has not cared about the Lego at all. We are blessed with 4 cats that do not care about Lego.
I don't know.
Unless you drop it and it goes skittering across the ground, and then any cat would be interested in that. 2 spare pieces. Okay, and this just hooks right here. There we go. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's definitely got these indents. So let's see if we can get you a closer look. Oh my God. Like I'm almost touching my monitor doing this. It's hilarious. So it's right here. See, there's that one piece and that one piece, which then hook in. Come on, this is real fun doing this in the air. My elbow down, get a little more stability. With the 2 different connectors, it's fun trying to get it to just click in, but especially the awkward way I'm doing this. Erg. Okay, you don't get to see it that close. There we go. So yeah, it has this real, like as you move it, kind of clicks into place. That's what that black one did compared to the gray one. The gray one just gives it additional. So there you have it. Boy, I'm going to have to zoom out just so we can see this. I'm going to do the display stand too, of course. But let me zoom out a little bit so we can see this beast in all of its glory. Holy cow, this is one heck of a ship here. With, you know, like air brakes, control surfaces. Even this, you can't even see that. Even this piece acting as a bit of control surface. Lots of good clear pieces for engines. The split nacelle tail, cockpit coming up. Okay. Hey, Thor, why don't you stand in there by your donut? Actually, yeah. Get Thor in there. I don't know why there's going to be a Chitauri in. Well, we're not going to put the Chitauri in there. But we'll put Mantis back there. We've got spare like areas which I guess we could put the weapons. Not the best location for some of these, but I mean, it works. Hey, Mantis, you gotta come out for a second. Well, I put Rocket's gun over here. Rocket, why's your gun gotta be so big? Because I was gonna put his other items there. I was gonna put Star-Lord's Elements guns up there, so he can drive. Mantis, you go in there. Rocket's gun's just gonna drop down there for now. Put that on. Put that on. We'll put Star-Lord in the driver's seat. We'll show you in a second that. We'll put Rocket in front of him. Oh my God, he can't with his tail. His tail gets in the way. What the hey? Rocket doesn't sit down because his legs don't bend. And his tail's super long. It gets in the way. So we're just gonna put him right on one of these for now. There we go. Come on. Stand up, buddy. There went an element gun. I'll find that later. Okay, so then we got Star-Lord right in the front. And you can put somebody else here that could sit at least. Thor, maybe. Chitauri, you're a bad guy. You're not going in there. Oh, yeah, look at that. Skipped. Yeah, because we doubled up. We're skipping from 221 all the way to 226. And that means bag 14. And bag 14 is going to give us crowd favorite Groot. Okay, so here, I've already said it a couple of times, but I really appreciate the fact that we have an entire bag pretty much for the stand. And we start with making Groot first. Groot also with a molded head, similar to Rocket having a molded head. That's a big gear piece, holy cow. Let's get Groot. So he's a good looking guy. Lots of detail on him, front and back. Just put him in the front so we can sit him down. Put him right in front of Star-Lord. And there's stacked seats, so Star-Lord can still see ahead above him. Okay, so now we got to build the stand that this whole thing goes on. The last bits. Lots of Technic pieces here. As you would expect, things are going to lock together. Okay. Gives me an idea where most of the pieces are. Lots of smooth pieces for later. Lots of smooth pieces for later. There we go. Okay, let's figure out this stand and we are going to be done. So we just start simply with one of these. Blue pin out one side and out the other side. 4 standard black pins. So Technic pins, for a while now, have been standardized in their colors. That, for the most part, blue pin is always 3 long with a one section that's 1 followed by a section that's 2 long with a collar in between. Whereas black ones are just 1 on each side. So it helps you identify the parts a little bit easier when you're trying to fit things together. And then there's other, like this blue is a axle on one side and Technic pin on the other side. So, which, you can't mess it up too much with the blue that's 3 long because they're different sizes. Okay, and then we got these pieces. Two Technic pins into a longer piece. Oop, they're supposed to be right next to each other. Come on. I've got the pin removal, but I don't know if it'll fit in there. Where's my... I can see it's so close. Oh, it fit. Much faster than trying to struggle. Okay. So there's one. Here's the other. And then that goes here. That's why the blue goes through both 1 and 2, locking everything together. And quickly moving on. So then we got another piece that goes on the front now. 4 Technic pins in that. They've got a lot of 2 length axles in here too, which match the size of the black Technic pins, but obviously are axles and not pins, so you got to be careful you're grabbing the right piece. And of course all this is nice, done up in black so that it doesn't take away from the model. And there we go. That's why the one piece only had 1 section, because that already comes up. And now that it is up, you slot in a 1x4 right there, and that keeps it from going, well, keeps it from going quite all the way back down again. And we'll have some other things that'll prevent it as well. This goes in the back with a little axle, 1x4 axle going all the way through. And by all the way through, there we go, flush. Oh, we get a couple more of those to put on. Okay. Some nice little pieces, because they got the end goes on with just a Technic piece, so it can rotate a little bit. Not that you really need it to rotate, but in the case that we're doing here, it doesn't need to rotate. But then the ends of it are shaped for an axle to go through it. So these go right on the end. Thusly. And now we're going to, similar to the other one, build in parts of the end feet. There we go. One for each side. And that kind of locks these things into place. All the way down. So that even though the pieces that could rotate now no longer will. Fill in the blanks there with some 1x3 blocks. And now we make it all pretty by covering it up with smoothness. So that's where all these nice little smooth pieces come into play. Even sloped at the end right there. It's a nice sloped piece. Give it a nice profile. Let's get the other one. This looks like the exact same setup. Okay, there we go. Where's that last sloped piece? Oh, there it is. It's hiding over here. This is why you knoll. This is why you sort everything ahead of time. You don't have that problem as much. Okay, so that's done. So then we're going to do the nice smooth on this as well. So we get that there. So everything gets nice and covered up. So we got little 1x1 little smooth squares on either side there. And then this goes right across the back. There we go. And then we even do it here. Now we get fancy. Get these cool little fancy pieces here. So we got to have Technic piece there. And then this has a gear going through. Got to have another piece first. This. Because this gear, this axle part is going through a round hole, but then it goes through to the other piece behind it, which is held on with an axle. And then a 4 stud long axle. Axles are measured in studs. So there we go. So then we got this piece that we did upside down, but that's easy to fix. Let's do it the right way. There we go. This nice little round piece is going to go in here, socket in there, and then now we've got this piece. It just goes zhunk, right on top there. And we use this piece. Oops, the 1x3. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. And this locks in on the other side to both sets of axles. Come on. It's just an axle. You shouldn't have problems going onto that. Why are you being a pain? This is the right piece. Oh, the pin rotated. Huh. That's why it isn't. The top one is a Technic pin, so it rotated a little bit. There we go. So that locks in there. And then we need little tiny axles down here ready to be slotted in. So 2 stud long axles. We're just putting them on the outside for right now because likely we'll put something in the middle here between those 2 gray bits and lock it in. Yep. We got these and these combined with this. So one of them goes this way. I'm going to take a little axle. There we go. So that's one way. Then we put the other one on the other side. I'll have to do this again too, so I might as well get my axles out early. There's one. There we go. There's 2. There we go. So this is going to go down here, and we're going to push the axle in. So there's, come on, get all the way in. There we go. There's 2 holes on each of these, and you're using the one towards the back in each case. Cool. And you got these flippy floppy bops. And then flippy floppy bops are going to lock in over to this. So to do that, we need a longer axle, this one. And 2 of these smaller ones. And it goes all the way down to the end. because there's a cap on the end, so it goes all the way down and it stops. And then we need a Technic pin / axle, and that's going to lock in because again, these have 2 holes, right? So this is going to go all the way through one hole and then lock in on the other one, the bottom one. And we're going to do that through, right through that, right there. Right through the reinforced bit. And so right now it got some flex. That's good because we got to create on the other side what's going to lock it in. There we go. And there we go. That locks it in. So now we have a good solid triangle. Now we do get some nice footses on the bottom. There we go. And this last bit is really cool because it's got this gear thing and everything. And somehow this is going to connect into the bottom of the ship and hold it in place. So we start with this neat little bit. And we plug in these like beige pins. Now the beige pins are interesting because they got a full Technic pin on one side. And then they got half a Technic pin on the other side. So he's got this nub that sticks out the top. And these little brown ones have got caps on the bottom to keep them from pulling through. So you just push them all the way right till the cap connects to the bottom. And we're also going to do that here with this piece going across. Now we've got these special Technic pins. Now these Technic pins are a double pin on one side and then an axle holder on the other side. So it's got the big old thick receptacle for an axle. And we don't plug them all the way in yet because they're going to hold something. So we get them just ready to go, but not all the way through yet. Because what we're doing is this piece goes underneath. And it has holes in it for the pins to go through. So it comes up through there. Right up through the center. So there we go. So those holes come up through the 2 empty areas, and then the pins lock down right into that gear piece. And then the gear piece is on. Oops. Guess I was supposed to put that on first, but whatever. Doesn't matter because it just sits there. And there we go. Snaps it. Okay. So what's going to happen here is that with these two last gray ones, or brown ones, they're going to go through this, holding this onto here. So they've got 3 holes. 2 of them are for axles, 3 holes. So it's going to go here. And we're going to go right on through. See, so it can go all the way through, but we've got to line it up for the area in between, which is keyed to let the axle and keep it from spinning. So then it's floppy because we've got to do the other one. There we go. Now, luckily we can spin it because I had it backwards. It's supposed to be like that. And that's it. It's done. These are extra pieces. So this all fits into the bottom of that ship. Oh, it's got parts listed at the end too, so you can order the parts. So if you break a part now, you can just go online and order the part. Wow, that's all 250 pages. Sorry, 2 pieces that went there. So now, this whole ship, has some spaces underneath. Somewhere. Is it those? Is that where it goes? Nope, nope, that's not working. Okay. Let me look at that. Let's look at that diagram again. See exactly where this goes. No, that's right. That is where it's supposed to go. Okay. Okay, cool. I was right. Okay, so there's these red holes right here. It's where these, see, red to red, red to red. And then the dark one is where those ones go. So it just sockets right in. And it, boy, it's solid too. Like it's, and there you have it. Right, look at that. It's just right socketed in and on a display stand and looking great at a nice angle too. Sorry about that. So there you have it. This giant monster. This is pretty big. Was about like, it's got to be a wingtip to wingtip has got to be like 1.5 feet at least. So this is a pretty good size ship. Really fun play toy. And at the same time, a really great display stand. So you can just like it looks like you could even just like bank it if you wanted to. Like you could have it banked. So this is one wingtip is substantially higher than the other one. So you could have some action poses even with that. So that's kind of cool. So this has been the Guardians ship from Guardians of the Galaxy, part of the Infinity Saga. Yes, the Infinity Saga collection of Lego. I got this for Christmas last year, so I was really happy to put this together. It's a fun little project. And at the same time, pretty good for some small people to play with as well and fly around and have some fun. So, highly recommended. But that's it for me today. Part 2 is all set. And you all have a great rest of your weekend. And I'll see you next time.